No, it's not just rice, it's aloo Mattar pilau. And I'm going to show you the secret to getting that gorgeous golden colour. It's all in the onions.
Pilau rice can be a great accompaniment to any curry that you make, and you can make it as complicated or as easy as you like. Vegetarian or meat-based, it's entirely up to you. But today I'm going to show you how to take the flavour of your pilau rice from bland and boring to deep and delicious. We'll start by dicing our onion. Lots of people like to slice their onions, and that's fine too. Whatever you prefer is okay. I like to dice mine because I find that the skin from the onions sometimes can just float about in your pilau, which I'm not a fan of. We'll start by adding butter into the pan. If you want to use ghee, that's fine too, or oil, that works. But if you've seen any of my cooking videos, you'll know that I always use butter. Then once your butter has melted, you can add your onions in. I've got 2 medium onions here. Just give that a quick mix in. And then we are also going to add in our whole spices. So you will need cinnamon sticks, bay leaves, black cardamom pods and cloves. We're going to add about 8 or 9 cloves, 2 black cardamom pods, about 3 pieces of cinnamon or cassia bark, and about 5 bay leaves. And as soon as they hit the butter or the oil, that smell that you get is that signature pilau smell. Now we want to let these onions brown and soften slowly. So now that they're all mixed in, we're just going to turn the heat down and leave it on a low heat with the lid on to brown and soften slowly. Then while the onions are doing their thing, you can prep the rest of your ingredients. So I'm going to add in a few green chilies because we like our food nice and hot. You can add as many or as little as you like, or if you don't want to add any at all, that's fine too. You can also prep your ginger and garlic now if you are using fresh. Just make sure that you keep checking your onions periodically because you don't want them to burn around the edges, which is what you can see happening. They will tend to brown in certain areas and not in others, so you need to give them a quick stir every now and then, just so that they cook evenly. Add a good tablespoon of ginger and garlic paste, or if you're using fresh, a good thumb of ginger and about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. Give that a mix in. We're going to let this brown too. And by the time this has browned, the onions will have browned a little bit more still. Then once your ginger and garlic has cooked through and your onions are looking nice and golden like this, you're about ready. You can actually go deeper if you want to. You can just make them really dark brown. That will just add to the flavour of your pilau, which actually works really well when you're using potatoes and peas. Into that, you're going to add some passata, about 2 tablespoons, not too much. If you add in too much tomato, it will alter the colour of your rice when it's cooking too. So you don't want that red hue, you want a nice brown colour to your rice. You can use fresh tomatoes if you like. I just use passata because it just gives a really nice flavour. Then into that you can add your spices. I only add a little bit of salt now. The reason being is that you are better off checking the flavour of the water before you add in the rice later. and I'll explain that why when we get to that stage. Mix your spices in. You can add in a little bit of water. Just to loosen that up a little bit. Once your spices have had enough time to cook, you can stir in cumin seeds and a tablespoon of yoghurt. This will just give it a really nice tang. And then once that's cooked through, you can stir in potatoes. Now, I always say it's better to use new potatoes. They're a waxy kind of potato and they hold their shape a lot better than any others. Today I'm actually using a regular white potato because I, as usual, have run out of the things that I need when I need them. Give these a good mix in. We need to let these catch a little bit of heat before we do anything else. So we're going to add in a little bit more water and leave these to cook for about 2 or 3 minutes, just so they start to soften. After about 3 minutes, your potatoes should have caught enough heat and they will have started to cook. Now we're ready to add in peas. Now I'm using frozen. If you want to use fresh peas, add them in at the same time that you add in the potatoes. They need a little bit more time to cook than frozen peas. I'm also adding in my green chilies now too. Adding them in at this stage means that they won't catch the bottom of the pan and they won't make you cough and sneeze like crazy. We are just going to combine all of that together before we then add in our boiling water. The amount of water that you use depends on the type of rice that you're using. I've been using my brand of rice for such a long time, I know exactly how much it needs. I tend to always err on the side of caution, so if you are using 1 cup of rice, I would always say use less than double water. Only because it's easier for you to rectify if you add less water than if you add too much. So because I've got 2 mugs of rice, I'm only going to add in about 3 to 3.5 cups of water. And I know for me that's perfect. You have to work with what you've got depending on the brand of rice you're using. And now is when you need to check the salt. Have a taste of the water, and if it tastes too salty, you're on the right track. Rice always tends to need a little bit more salt. So if you need to add any more, now is the right time to do it. And mine's not got enough. So I'll add in a little bit more. I'm just going to add in another ½ tablespoon. I think that should be enough. And now into that, I'm going to add my rice, which I have pre-soaked. Always soak your rice. Rinse it in a few changes of water and make sure you soak it for at least an hour. If you do that, it will cook more evenly and you will find that it will have less chance of it turning into mush, which is what tends to happen if you don't soak your rice. Then you're going to gently mix that in. Don't be too rough with your rice, they do break really easily, so nice and easy. And because we let the potatoes cook a little bit earlier on, they will now finish cooking while the water is boiling and also during the dum process, which we're going to do a little bit later. So don't worry if you feel like your potatoes are not cooked before you add in the rice. They carry on cooking throughout at the same time as the rice. Now you need to leave the heat on high during this cooking process. What we want to happen is for that water to almost disappear. You want that top layer of rice poking through so that when we get to the steaming point, there is not too much water sitting at the bottom of the pan. When it gets to this stage, you just need to give it a gentle stir again. You can already see how long the grains of rice are. Then when you get to this kind of stage and you can just see around the edges the water is bubbling away here, you can turn this heat down, pop the lid on, and we're just going to let it sit on a low heat for about 10 minutes. Check the rice. What you're going to do is scoop the rice from the bottom and see what they are like. If they are almost cooked, great. If you find that they're still a little bit hard and they need a little bit more steaming, the best way to do that is to wet a tea towel and wrap it around your lid. But before you do that, just loosen the rice from around the edges just to release any excess steam. I'm doing this because mine are actually okay, they don't need any more water. They just need a bit of steaming now, so by loosening up gently, just stops the rice at the bottom from overcooking. If you find that the grains are still a little bit firm, like I said before, you can wet a tea towel. By doing that and wrapping it around your lid, what will happen is that extra water on the tea towel will generate a little bit of extra steam, and that will help the grains to cook a little bit better. If, however, like mine, your rice are fine and they're looking like they're on track, just wrap a dry tea towel around the lid. This will stop the extra moisture building up under the lid, dropping into the rice again. It will actually drop onto the tea towel and stop the rice from getting soggy at the top. It will also create a nice tight seal around the edge, which will trap all the steam and just finish off that cooking process. After about 10 minutes or so, your rice should be fully cooked.
Transfer the rice to a serving dish and serve this up with your favourite salad. Save it, share it, and if you're not subscribed yet, then now's the time. There's plenty more where that came from. Go on, what are you waiting for? Make me proud.